Hello and welcome everybody. When we look at the past experiences of our life, maybe somebody stole something from you, maybe somebody did you wrong. We think about stuff from childhood up to today. And sometimes we don't even mean to. Sometimes we'll just be driving along and see something that brings us to a thought that leads to another thought about something that happened 15 years ago, and then all of a sudden we're lost in our head about it. Well, people ask me if I'm always thinking about the past, does it define my future? Because that, in one essence, it does. It basically, first of all, it does not define our future in the fact that we have the power to not let it define our future. Recently in quantum physics, that they discovered the observer effect. Basically, energy that is not being observed by the conscience doesn't form or will never form again until we look at it, until we focus on it, in other words. So all we have is the eternal right now. So if you take your eternal right now and then go back and think about something that happened in the past, that's going and pulling all that back up in the right now. And this is going to, wait to say, when you hear this, it's going to be like, oh, so what's really happening is that when you bring something up in the past that you didn't like an experience that happened you didn't like, what you're actually doing is bringing up that energy and the feeling and focusing on it. So you're further manifesting that type of experience to come into your life. Let that sink in. Oh my goodness. In other words, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, the scientific method, it's always listening. It's always watching what we're doing. So basically, it's like we're telling the universe, well, I didn't like what mommy did when I was 5. And I'm sitting here thinking about it and feeling the feelings that it gave me and all that. So basically, it's like telling the universe, well, give me some more of that. Because God says yes to everything. The universe says yes to everything. So it's almost like the universe will be like, well, okay, I know you didn't like that experience, but I'll give you some more of it if that's what you want. And that's really what we're doing, is every time we're looking in the past, we're manifesting more experiences like that in our current life. The first time it might have been, an argument with your mom, but it might come back manifested in present day with an argument with your boss, or somebody else. But it's still, anything. It's almost like the energy is a school of fish and they swim together. So whether it happened with one person or the other, the solution would be to look into the future, look into future events that we want to see. I love y'all. We'll see you on the next one.